Hello Wajahat, hello Carlos, hello Rivu, hello Nitin. How are you all? You can turn on
Yes,
your
thank
mic.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Hello.
sorry.
Yeah, hi, hi.
Hi.
Hello,
So
everyone.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, Carlos. Hello, Nitin. Hello,
Uh,
Ribu.
let me start by saying that it's a pleasure to be here among everyone. I see that we have a full house today, and it's a pleasure to be for the first time, although virtually, in Pakistan. So thank you for having me here.
yeah, Carlos, glad to see you here, and thanks for taking out the time for our audience. And I'm pretty happy that you have taken out the time. Thanks to Wajahat as well. Thanks to Rivu. Thanks to Nitin. Yeah, good to see you all here.
It's an honor to have you all, basically.
Thank you.
Honestly, I did not expect such a diverse panel. So when I saw the poster, I was like, wow, so many people. I know them already. So thank you, everyone, for attending this. And thank you, Ima, and all the GDG Live Pakistan and the team for inviting me here. I'm very excited to be here and sharing the stage with some amazing folks like Carlos and Nitin and Ribu. I know already, Nitin. We have already discussed something. He probably share it in today's panel, or probably not. So I'll keep it to myself. So yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
basically, starting off the panel discussion, I would like to ask you all, what is GDE in your perspective? Like, how do you see GDE program? Being a Google developer expert of maybe the Android, maybe the Kotlin, how do you see this program, and how do you see our audience, coming up and joining these programs like Google Developer Student Clubs, Google Developer Groups as well, even, and they are aiming to be the part of such communities to not only grow but to meet other people, to make a huge network around the globe. So yeah.
So I will go first. For me, at least, being GD is all about helping other people. You being GD, you get a platform to help a lot more people than you can as a regular developer, right? Before becoming GD, I used to do communities and I wrote books and all. Uh, by becoming GD, I am speaking to a lot more communities. I'm mentoring more people. I'm helping more people become GDs, right? So yeah, being GD is all about helping people. It's not about like even though expert is in the title, it's not about being an expert. It's about being an expert in helping people. For me, at least, that's what it means.
so I would agree with Ribu. When I became a GDE, at first I was like, okay, I'm already doing whatever for the community and writing articles and doing open source. So being GDE is all about continuing with the same momentum and continuing the same work
Indeed.
you have been doing already. It's not like you have to do
I
a
would
lot
not
of
say
stuff now.
continuing your momentum. I would say increasing your momentum.
I have seen some
Yeah.
people who have increased momentum, but the way I think is like the momentum you had already. That was the point where Google recognized you. So they are not expecting actually to increase your momentum or doing more stuff. You should do as per you
It's not
how you are
mandatory, but
comfortable.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and another thing in Pakistan, being a GDE is all about. I am the only one GDE for Android at this time, and it has felt me like a huge responsibility from the day when, like, whenever any event or anything Android is mentioned, they just point my name. Like, I just feel so much responsibility on my shoulders, and I want to share it with others, and I want others, two, three, or more GDEs to become from Pakistan and Android, and uh, because I want to share this burden and help as many people as we can. That's all GDE is all about.
Legit.
Yeah, I have to say that I agree with what you were both saying, and I would like to add that although we are GDEs are open to everyone. So if you're sharing content, it can either be blog posts, talks, YouTube videos, etc. You can be the next GDE. So
Exactly. Just reach out to any other GD or the DevRel in your region or the GDGs in your region. They will help you apply for the GD and become one.
yes, and it's I'm not sure if I'm the newest GDE here. I've started to be. I think I'm 1 year now, and
Then
it's
Nitin is
exactly.
the newest.
Sorry.
Nitin, he is the newest GD.
Yeah, I'm the so
Okay.
yeah, so basically I'm the newest one. Like Wajahat knows me, and Wajahat took my interviews for GD's round, and the Rivu is my mentor for all GD's process, and all my like discussion thing from Android side is mentoring me from all stuff from top to down. So I can say Rivu is my mentor for all things. So
Nice, nice.
we were together in the company previously, but he is mentoring me also now, and I'm adding one more point here. So after becoming a GD, yes, Wajad is right. We having a more responsibilities to teach other in a right direction what they can do or what they can achieve from this. This is not a kind of expert thing, but as Yuvuda says that it is a kind of expert how you can help other in a right direction basically. There's a lot of direction, but in a right direction how you can help anybody or like a newbies who are coming to who are keen to like become a GD in these days.
Yes, and I just want to add a small thing that you now have access to more content, so you can also improve your talks, the way you speak, the way you write, and that's also great for you to be able to share what you're doing better, so other people can also read or watch.
Yeah. So basically, we are also getting a chance to speak by become a
Yeah.
GD. We are also getting a chance to become connected with the more people, more community, and with the great minds in across the world. So I think for like the communication part is like very great in GD part. We are like connecting with the like from Pakistan, from other countries like that. So it is like feel good to be a GD by communications like that.
Yeah, it's thanks
One
to the GD program that I was able to meet everyone here. So
Yeah, yeah. That's a great part of GD, I can say.
yeah.
One question I do get a lot in events are from the people that they continuously ask me that whether being a GD is permanent or not. So I tell them that it's a yearly renewal system. So you have to renew for each year, and some GDs don't make it to the next year. At least I don't know anyone yet. So who has not made it next year or something. But it's a thing. Google has told us so. So. Follow-up question is usually like, so what happens if Google decided not to make a GD next year or something? So my answer usually is all about like it doesn't matter. Like I'll keep doing my speaking, keep doing my writing, keep helping people however I can and whatever I can. It's just part of me. It's not something which GDE relates to me, or it's not something. GDE is a recognition which Google has bestowed upon you in terms of like, hey, you have done a really great job helping like thousands of people around the world. So we just want to appreciate you and we want to recognize you that you have been one of the amazing folks we have ever seen. So thank you. It's like that, you know.
So I just wanted to add anything here. Most of the people, they consider GDE as a job. So please enlighten that. And also, I would like to ask one more thing. What is the best way of helping people out there? Please, if you can enlighten this, that would be great.
So who wants to answer first question?
So I think I can answer for all of us. GD is not a job, uh, at least not a paid one. So
at
yeah,
least, at least, yeah,
at least
absolutely.
not a paid one. So yeah, and for the second question, see, there are a lot of ways to help people, right? Yeah, I told Nitin that as well, and some more people I am mentoring. Uh, while applying for GD. There are a lot of ways to help other people, and you can't determine that which is the best for people or not, because some people feel reading more helpful, some people feel watching a video more helpful, some people go through books to learn, some people go to blogs to learn, some people go to Stack Overflow, some people go to GitHub. Just look at the code and I will understand, right? I don't want to read the blogs. So you can help only the best way you can. If you are good at writing, if you are good at writing blogs, if you are good at giving talks, if you are good at making videos, do that. Whatever you are good at, do that. You don't have to do everything. No one can.
Yeah, it's impossible to do everything on all platforms. Otherwise,
So
you
for
need to
example,
quit your day job for that.
if you go to my, if anyone goes to my GitHub, they will see it's mostly empty. There is a 1 star here, one a blue dot here, one blue dot there, and remaining everything is empty, right? Uh, but does that mean I am not doing anything for the community? I'm doing the best I can, right? Same for some other people, you will see they don't have even blog, right? Some other GDs are there who don't even have blogs, but they are doing a lot on GitHub. They are doing a lot on video contents, right? So it totally depends upon you. There is no best way where you can help people. There is the best way what you can do, and that way you can help people.
Yes.
I would agree with it. I'd like to extend it a little bit to not only from the perspective of how GDEs can help and what kind of channels should they choose for their contributions and for being enrolled in the GDE program, but I also like to point out here that the expert in this Google Developer Expert terminology is not like something Google expects you to be very advanced level professional on that field. So if you are taking Android, they are not expecting you that you know everything about Android. They will specifically point
You
you
don't
to
have
a
to be
point
Roman key to
like
be a GDE.
yeah, absolutely. They will say that, okay, Vajat, at least they ask me in my interviews, like, Vajat, so what are you specialization and what are you passionate about in Android? Like, they are asking me a subset of Android. And I said, UI and animation. So they are like, okay, we'll check your GitHub and we'll check your portfolio. So everywhere they found me everything about UI, my animation libraries, my UI experiments, and uh, when Jetpack Compose, everyone was creating these fantastic, interesting stuff. So what I thought, can I make a game in Jetpack Compose? And that's what I came up with. And then I created this whole stream of talks with Jetpack Compose games and animation. So that's what I'm very passionate about in Android. So if you want to become a GD in any kind of technology, they don't expect you to be a master of it. But know this, that they are expecting that you know the stuff so much that you can help others, and if you cannot help directly, at least
You
you
should
can know
have
what their problem is and how to help them or how to guide them. That's at least they are expecting
you should
from you.
have a deep understanding in the topic or category you are selecting. But yeah, you don't have to be, as I said earlier, if you are applying for Android, you don't have to Roman key in Android. But yeah, you have to have a
Neither Jack Watson.
clear understanding.
Uh, yes, I just wanted to add a thing that was mentioned by Rivu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Before there is, although you can, you should only do what on the platform that you like and you feel comfortable. For instance, on writing, or video, or podcast. Truth to be said, there are things that sometimes when you might be a bit afraid. For instance, a while back I decided to try to make some YouTube videos, and at the beginning I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. To be honest, I didn't like the idea of publishing videos for myself, and I just published one. I received a bit of good feedback, and I published a couple more ones, and then I decided, okay, now I'm going to stop doing videos and I'm going back to writing. This to say that although you can try new things, perhaps you might enjoy it, and there is nothing that makes you mandatory to only do videos. You can just try to do a couple of videos and then go back to writing, or then you want to try a podcast, you can try a podcast, and so on. There is no rule here to just follow a specific platform. Feel free to do whatever you feel you like.
Agreed.
Yeah. So like from my side, I also need to add something here. Sorry. So basically, my motivation is like previously I was writing the Android thing in the deep side for myself, not for everyone. I'm writing the concepts, or like suppose I'm like learning an APIs of Android, so I'm learning so deeply. So sometimes like lots of people contacting me from the LinkedIn before the GDE, not after coming a GDE. So they are also contacting me like I want to learn this topic, I want to learn this, how I get to know this. So I started teaching them. So basically, instead of GDE, I'm also teaching the people or the students of the colleges in the weekends part, 4 to 5 hours every weekend. I'm giving to them. So I started to like recording the session, so other can help by seeing the session. I also start to writing something from that. So that's how I feel like this is my cup of tea. So I can do this kind of stuff from my side. So that is my motivation to writing a content or like creating a videos for the students only.
Okay. Fawad, what was the other question?
So yeah, the other question is why it is important for people to update themselves to the latest technologies, the new technologies that are coming up. Even we heard of metaverse coming up right now. It's been like a few months back they started working on it. So how do you see the people why should they come up and they should move to a latest technology instead of the technologies they are using from the universities. Even the professionals I saw, they are using old technologies. Let's suppose I was having a teacher, and he was doing coding, custom coding for the websites, etc. And it was back in 2016. And at that time Bootstrap came up. It was drag and drop to make your website in Bootstrap, and he was struggling right there. He was thinking like he was unable to adopt to the latest technologies. So what would you suggest in these scenarios? Like I see a lot of people, they struggle to move to new platforms.
Yeah, perhaps I can start. My advice is to always try to keep update. Of course, you need time for that. So most of the times it can be a bit overwhelming. For instance, if I'm not mistaken, Android releases every 2 weeks 77 libraries. So it's crazy the amount of things that they are launching. So don't try to be up to date on everything, but try to be up to date on what makes sense for what you're doing at your job, on your side projects. It's impossible to know everything, so focus on something, and in the next weeks you'll learn more, on the next months. I think it's important not only because you're going to do a better job, but because, at least I'm speaking for myself, that I end up having a lot of fun when I'm trying new things, and I feel that I'm learning. I really enjoy learning, and for me, not learning new things would be a bit. I'll get a bit stalled and feel that okay, I'm doing the same things over and over and again. I need to learn new things and see how everything is evolving. I started, to be honest, Compose a bit because of that. I was a bit tired of XML. Google promised that Compose was the holy grail, and I decided to dive in, and I've been using ever since. And most times things happen this way. There is some limitations. Someone is going to try to fix those limitations and move the language forward, and you want to try those things, and most of the times you enjoy doing them. Of course, since you're on early stages, you're going to find a lot of bugs, but after moving towards those bugs, you feel realized, you feel that you've learned, you helped move that framework or that library a bit forward, and it's great.
Yeah, I agree with like this thing. So I have 2 points here. Basically, one thing is your interest. What interests you, what attracts you. Like if definitely if you are into a programming stuff, you definitely like a new thing every time. So the first thing, like there are lots of stuff as in the Android is coming up in these days. So you cannot learn all thing at a one time. You have to divide your time priorities. So this is a kind of hectic thing. So first you decide your priorities, and first you decide your interest, and then you can check like what things are important. So suppose like we have a Jetpack library also, we have Jetpack Compose also. So in these days, I can say that Jetpack Compose, you should learn Jetpack Compose, because like it is the biggest change I can say in Android since last year. So you have to decide like what kind of stuff you need to learn based on the market. Like what are the most companies are adapting in these days. If you are need to update with the like companies, or if you are into if you are trying to get a good job or like get a good hike, you are staying up to that with the thing that are most used by other companies basically. That is my opinion inside.
Oh, this is really good. I agree with you, both of you, Carlos and Nitin.
I
And
also completely
I
agree.
have one thing more to say, that for me, learning has been really focused, because every day, if you are very active on Twitter, you will get exhausted and overwhelmed in like under a week or so, because every minute there is something new coming up. So it just gives you an impression of, oh, these guys are so ahead of us. What I'm doing, like. Uh, when I started GD, I thought that I'm the only one who is in under imposter syndrome. But then I talked to many, and everyone was like, everyone, even from the biggest GDs like Jobert, and everyone was saying, hey, don't worry, everyone is same. So there's no one rockstar, no one moving ahead or something. So imposter syndrome is real, but then I realized that, okay, just keep on your pace and move it. So for me, if I want to learn something new, I really got time these days, because I have a toddler at my house. So the way I approach this is that, okay, let's give this talk. Let's talk on entirely new topic which I know nothing about before this talk, and that talk puts me on pressure. Like, okay, you have to learn, you have to prepare slides, you have to understand, you have to answer questions. This is how I learned these days. So
Under pressure.
yeah, pressure obviously. You have to stand in 60 people. So yeah, pressure.
Yeah, that's a new point. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, that was such an amazing exchange of knowledge between you experts. Honestly, I really enjoyed because you guys share such an immense expertise in your field. Thank you so much, Nitin, Rivu, Carlos, and Wajahat.
Thanks
Um,
for having us.
it's
Thank
totally
you.
an
Thanks
honor
for
for me.
invite.
If audience have any questions, please share them in the chat box. Our very own GD experts are here to answer your questions.
So just I have one own personal question that is from all of you. That is like I have been the part of Google Developer Student Clubs last year. Then I moved to GDG Live Pakistan, and currently I'm leading that chapter. So how do you see these communities? Growing up in Pakistan. Like last year we were having 43 chapters when I was the lead, and now we have 60 chapters. So, how do you see people coming up to these communities, and how are these communities helping them out? Uh, like
Actually, I am not an right person to comment on this, because I don't know how people are attending GDG. Like I haven't been to any other GDG Live Pakistan events. But to be honest, this is my first event at Pakistan, right?
Yeah,
So
this is
I
my
can't comment on this. Probably Wajahat can comment best.
maybe Wajahat can enlighten this.
Oh, come on, everyone. These three new fantastic people around the globe are waiting. I'm in every other event. You can ask me anytime. These are the people who can give you some different perspective, diversification.
I totally agree with
So
you, Wajahat.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Nitin, like, how do you see these programs? These Google Developer Student Clubs program. People are starting getting aware of these communities, and they're trying to be the part of these communities just to not learn but grow themselves as well, and help out the community as well.
So, in my opinion, I have been like twice in India. I have been like doing a session with to India. So what they are doing, so basically they are trying to teach the student of their colleges or like same of their ages for the stuff for like how in every technology. So they are trying to teach like TensorFlow, Firebase, Android, and like Flutter, all Google technology they are trying to teach. But I never be a part to like creating this kind of content. I'm just like speaking in that event. So like I
I
have no
want to
idea
say
about them.
one thing. So I before becoming GD, like I was the first person in India to start Kotlin user group, and then I led GDG Kolkata as well for some time before moving to Bangalore. And so I will tell you what someone from Google DevRel team India told me. Right. So that was that. When you see that you have multiple GDEs or expert from your community itself to speak at your event, when you don't have to ask speakers from out of your town, then you know that you have succeeded in building a strong community. That was what someone at Google DevRel team told me while I was leading GDG Kolkata. Because when I started, there was not much traction. Kolkata is a it's not a small city, but in terms of tech, it's a small city. So when I started, it was really tough to get speakers and all. Although we were getting a lot of audience. While discussing something, someone at the DevRel team told me, and that's really true. Like I that's what I really felt it's completely true. If you are getting all the speakers from your community itself, right, or most of the speakers, and you can term them as experts, don't have to be GD, right? GD is it doesn't mean, as we already established, GD doesn't mean that they are geniuses or something. So yeah, don't have to be GD, but you can term them as expert and present them to your audience, and your audience also applauds it. Then you will know that you have truly succeeded building a community.
Yes, I just wanted to add a small thing. There's a similar thing happened here in Portugal. On my hometown, there aren't a lot of enthusiasts, let's say, and I'm also a GDG organizer from Portugal, from Coimbra, and we started our first event with, I think, 15 people, and this was 6 years ago. And on our last physical event, we managed to have 500 people. And well, this was through 5 6 years of continuous events. And what we noticed was that we were able to shape a bit the people that were leaving the university. Basically, our attendees were people that were on the last years of the university, and they felt that they were missing a lot of practicality. For instance, we didn't learn Android at university, and we had a lot of study jams focused on Android. And also people from startups that were always moving from one position to the other. And we realized some years after that we managed to reach a lot of people that are enthusiastic and started to learn and started to work on Android and other technologies, thanks to us that just show them that they could do this. And for instance, I can add that a cool thing that happened was initially were me and another friends giving those workshops and talks. And what's happening now is that those people that attended those workshops are now the mentors for the workshops that are happening this time online, but they're happening now. So we were able to create a circle here, and the mentees became the mentors, and it's great to see that you've made something that people learned and they're will able to continue what you're doing.
Great. And I would like to add one thing here, right? As Nitin told me, I was mentoring him, and I can't be any happier seeing someone I worked with, someone I was mentoring as my junior, and then as a friend, to become another GD, right? Now he will be helping more people. So that's what actually feels really really great, and that's where you succeed as a community as well. The
So
circle
like
Carlos told, mentees becoming mentors and continuing the circle.
that's really counts. So, like Ribu said, I'm going to put a little perspective on what's going on in Pakistan. So, over the last 3 years, I have noticed a significant growth in how people and especially developers are more focused on providing value to the community. Like before that, whenever I talked to any developer, his only focus was about freelancing or doing jobs or something. But especially, I would say that when DSC program came up in universities, and I think it actually hit the foundation, the students itself. So it has improved a lot of thinking on why community building is important and how it can help people and how it can bring the whole ecosystem on the upper layer and how it can actually flourish our whole country and whole world. So that's what I'm noticing these days. Like before myself becoming a GDE, I hardly used to get like 30 to 40 people in one event. Now DevFest or those kind of events are like attracting hundreds or sometimes in thousands of people, and we are still always out of the seats, out of the place, and when you have problems and these. So I think this is a very good uh, indicator on we are doing very good. DSCs are actually the backbone and driving factor in all this growth. So I'm very happy actually with that.
Nice. Well done, everyone.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
to all the GDs for giving out your time to at our event. It was really wonderful session.
Yes,
Thanks for
thanks
Thank
having
for
you.
us.
having me.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for everyone.
Yeah, thank you for joining, and thank you, Wajahat. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Rivu. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for your time.
Uh,
thanks for having me, and thanks for connecting us to and about one point. Yeah.
it was really nice meeting you, Wajahat. We actually chatted earlier as well during
Yeah,
Bela Kotlin event, right? So
I remember. Actually, I liked Kotlin Bangalore and Kotlin Mumbai events. They have been doing very fantastic job. And beside that, Android Worldwide is something which I feel that DSCs and GDG chapters can learn from. They have very organized team and they have very fantastic kind of execution. So I really liked enjoying speaking on their events. So this is a tip for you, Iman and Fawad.
Thank you, Wajahat.
Yeah, thank you for these words.